Let's get one thing straight. You are not lazy, you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're distracted. And more than anything, you're stuck in a system that was never designed for your growth. If you're watching this, chances are you've wrestled with the thought, why can't I just get my life together? You've set goals, you've made plans, and yet the motivation fizzles out. The days slip by. You feel like you're spinning your wheels. You beat yourself up, thinking the problem must be you. But what if the real issue was never laziness? What if you've just been carrying invisible weights, habits, beliefs, distractions that are quietly draining the energy and drive from your life? Let's dive deep into this. Most people think laziness is a character flaw, that it's some personal weakness or failure to care. But that's not true. What we label as laziness is often a symptom, not the disease. It's the body and mind saying, I can't, not like this. You've probably had moments of extreme clarity. It's moments where you felt driven, alive, determined. Maybe it lasted an hour, maybe a week. But then it disappeared. And that's the first clue. You're not lazy, you're out of alignment. Here's the truth no one tells you. Most people aren't broken. They're just misaligned with their purpose, their environment, or their daily systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And if your systems are broken, guess what? Even the most disciplined person will struggle. Let's talk about one of the biggest hidden enemies, mental clutter. You wake up and instantly scroll your phone. Hundreds of inputs flood your brain before you even brush your teeth. Social media, emails, updates, messages. You haven't even started your day and already your mind is hijacked. It's not laziness. It's overload. Your brain is juggling so much noise that focus feels impossible. Now multiply that by every day of the week. You end up in a loop of consumption and comparison. You watch others succeed and wonder why you can't start, why you can't stay consistent. But how can you create anything when you're drowning in distraction? This isn't your fault. The modern world is engineered to steal your attention, to keep you passive, reactive, overstimulated. And when your attention is fractured, so is your ability to act. If you want to break free, the first step isn't hustle, it's clarity. You have to start subtracting, unfollow what doesn't serve you. Turn notifications off. Make space in your mind before you try to fill it with action, because clarity is a superpower. And without it, even the most motivated person burns out. Now let's talk about the second villain, decision fatigue. You ever feel like you're making choices all day but getting nowhere? That's decision fatigue. The mental exhaustion that comes from constantly choosing what to wear, what to eat, what to do next. When every small task demands energy, the big things get left behind. You procrastinate not because you're lazy, but because your brain is already tired. That's why routines matter. Not because they're trendy, but because they free you. When the basics are automatic, you save your energy for the hard, meaningful work. That's what successful people understand. They don't waste brain power on what doesn't move the needle. If your day feels like chaos, start small. Create a morning routine that grounds you. Choose your clothes the night before. Decide your top 3 priorities each day. Remove friction wherever you can. Because discipline isn't about doing more, it's about creating structure so you can do less, but with more focus. Let's address another trap. Fear of imperfection. So many people stay frozen because they want to start perfectly. They wait for the right moment, the right tools, the right plan. But the truth is, perfect is a myth. You're not lazy or scared. Scared to fail. Scared to be judged. But here's the brutal truth. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. Confidence doesn't come before action, it follows it. You build self-belief by showing up again and again, even when it's ugly, even when you fall short, especially when you fall short. Think about anyone you admire. They didn't begin at the top. They started with shaky steps, with half-baked ideas, with a mountain of doubt. The only difference, they kept going. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin, because motion creates momentum. And momentum shatters the illusion of laziness. Another hidden enemy, lack of purpose. If your goals don't move you emotionally, you won't stay committed. It's that simple. Most people chase what looks good on paper. Money, titles, approval. But those things rarely last. Real drive comes from meaning. From knowing that what you're building actually matters to you. that your actions align with your values. Your days are steps toward a life you actually want. So ask yourself this: are you waking up to a life you chose, or one you settled for? Because if you feel disconnected, uninspired, burnt out, it's not laziness. It's a signal. A sign that your life is calling for realignment. That you need to strip away the expectations of others and ask, what do I really want? Purpose isn't found. It's built. The way you build it is by paying attention to what energizes you, what excites you, what problems you're willing to solve without applause. That's where your fuel is. When you find that, you won't need constant motivation. You'll wake up with fire. Now let's be real. There will still be hard days. Days where your mind lies to you, tells you that you're lazy, worthless, behind. In those moments, you need to fight back with evidence. Look at how far you've come, even if it's just a few steps, even if you failed and tried again. That matters. Start tracking your progress. Write down your wins. Celebrate the small things. Because success isn't one big moment. It's a collection of tiny, quiet victories that no one sees. Your brain needs proof that you're capable. Give it that proof. Even if it's just showing up for 10 minutes, that's not laziness. That's resilience. And let's not ignore this. You're human. You get tired. You lose focus. You make mistakes. That's not failure. It's life. The difference between the people who change and those who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the willingness to start over, again and again. Because starting over isn't weakness. It's strength in disguise. Every time you reset your intentions, every time you choose action over comfort, you build the muscle of discipline. And over time, that discipline will change your entire life. So the next time you hear that voice in your head calling you lazy, pause and remind yourself, you are not lazy. You're capable. You're wired for more. You're just held back by habits, patterns, fears that you now see. And that's where power begins, with awareness. Now it's time to take that awareness and turn it into action. One small step. One focused hour. One day of doing what matters instead of what's easy. Because you're not broken, you're just waking up. The moment you stop believing the lie of laziness is the moment you start becoming unstoppable. Let today be that moment.